Hey guys, well, we were going to go to the boat today, but the weather's not looking too good, but it is beautiful weather for working outside, so I decided that we're going to do a little bit of work on the Argo here. So let me give you a little bit of a tour of this thing and what I use it for and everything. So this is 8x8 Argo Avenger 750. It's 2008-ish. It has I think it's like a 26 horsepower Kohler engine, very powerful engine. This thing is virtually unstoppable with this engine. And as you can see, all of my tires have a bit of a slow leak, but that's fine. I fill them up. They last a couple of weeks before I have to put more air in it, so eventually I'll change them. But you know, nothing is cheap on a machine like this. Like these tires are about $250 a piece or more, so try to make them last as long as I can. So I built this enclosure here about 4 years ago. You know, I had to take it apart because we had to do some work to this machine. I needed to change some seals and chains and bearings and all that kind of stuff. So I'm putting it back together now. I'm just using the same plywood that was on there before, some new pieces because some of them got damaged pretty good, so I'm putting some new stuff on there, but pretty much using all the same stuff. I have this front window here, if I remember correctly, it's from like a RV or a camper trailer or something. I went to a junkyard that I like to go to. There's all sorts of cool stuff there, not too far from here. So I found these windows. You know, I found this window that's like I said, I think it's from a trailer or an RV. These windows here, they're from I think an old truck cap. So I got those windows for that. And then in the back here, I'm gonna put a set of doors on there. My plan is to try and close this thing in so that I can sleep in it when I go camping. You know, I take this thing out camping a couple times a year, and it's a fun trip. You know, we go through the forest, we go through some pretty aggressive trails that most vehicles wouldn't be able to get through. You know, maybe a Jeep can do it kind of thing, but your average vehicle wouldn't be able to get to this lake. And then from there we get onto the we drive this thing right onto the lake. It's amphibious, right? So we drive it right onto the lake, and I drop my outboard motor, and I'm about 45 minutes on the lake getting to my campsite. So that's a lot of fun. And then I'm thinking, once we get there, instead of, you know, setting up a tent and all that jazz, I can just sleep in the Argo. Wouldn't that be fun? So that's the plan. I'm going to finish the enclosure today, or probably not finish it, but I'll get it started anyways. And keep going, you know, try to get the enclosure done and start figuring out what I'm going to do with the inside. So let me get set up here, and then we'll get going. Okay guys, we'll get this thing fired up. She hasn't started in, like I said, a month or two. We'll see what happens, and then we'll get some air in the tires, and I'm gonna relocate this somewhere a little more comfortable so we can work on it. See what happens. fired right up. It's a great machine. Like, this thing is so reliable. It's never let me down. We get some air in the tires. Okay, I'm bringing this thing right there. I gotta do like wide turns because you know, it kind of drives like a tank. You know, it's it tears up the ground if you don't take wide turns. So here we go. Hello again. We're set up right here. This area here, like my master plan here is to, this is going to be a lean-to. This is like an old shed. I'm ripping it down. I poured a bit of concrete there. Another little chunk just over here. So it's going to be, you know, 28 feet wide, 12 feet deep. The argo is going to go in there, obviously. I have a few other, you know, I have a little small little lawn tractor thing that's going to go in there, and whatever, it's going to hold a bunch of toys. So that's what's going to happen with that. Here's the plywood I got. Like I said, you know, this enclosure is nothing fancy. I'm not spending $1 million on this. It's not going to cost me a whole lot of money to get it done. But like I said, I've you know, this one that you see on there now, it was on there for, you know, 4 or 5 years, and took a lot of beatings, and it's doing great. So I'm just going to do it all over again the same way. There's 2 angle pieces here. So these are just screws I'm using here. We have like a neoprene washer. This kind of helps a little bit, I guess, for water doesn't get through and into the aluminum. And I'm going to start screwing down the roof, and then we'll start getting some sides on it. Looks like I'm gonna have to pre-drill that, so do that. Of course, it's starting to rain. We'll go size up on this bit. This bit's no good. Don't need a whole lot of screws, it's just to hold it down so it doesn't move. Might add 1 or 2 more on that side, a couple on the other side, and 1 or 2 in the center just so it doesn't like bounce around when we're driving, making all sorts of unnecessary noise. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this going, and then yeah, I need a different drill. I'll get this roof on, get the sides on, and then I'll show you what that looks like. And then we'll June 1st, 2025 here in Ontario. It's just outside of Toronto, and yeah, it's hailing a little bit right now. It's not warm out. It's comfortable working temperature though, and just a little bit of hail, so whatever, we'll just keep pressing on the Argo. All right, so I secured the roof. I got this angle piece secured on here. You can see it's kind of like the roof is overlapping it a little bit. I'm gonna leave it like that and water just run right off it if it starts to rain. And then same thing down here. It overlaps the wall piece here. I just need to, I'm gonna get this all secured a little better from the inside here. I'm gonna put I'm gonna add a piece of wood there or whatever, and just get this so it's all nice and strong. Like I said, you don't have to go too crazy. It's gonna get beat up, probably broken, whatever. It's I don't want to spend too much money, too much time on it. So I'm gonna do these side panels here in the back, like I was saying, and yeah, you're gonna keep pressing on here. Okay, guys, got these doors here. These are doors. Again, I just plywood, 3/8 plywood. I cut these up a couple years ago. Never really put them on, but I'm gonna put them on now. And like I said, I'm trying to do this on the cheap. I don't want to really spend any money on this, because I know it's going to get beat up, and I'm going to have to redo it in another 3 or 4 years or whatever. So I got these, just cheap residential hinges here. There's another one. And so I'm just going to put those on and see how that works. And worst comes to worst, if with these things, at least if I want to pop them off, I can just pull the pin, right, and take them off and use them or not use them, because I don't leave those doors on all the time. Well, I've never really had them on, so I mean, I feel like I'm going to be taking them off quite often. But it'll be really handy for when I go camping, if I decide that I'm sleeping in this thing. So I'm going to put those on and see if I can get these doors working. So I got the one door on. I don't have everything I need here to do this, and like I said, I'm out in the country. So for me to get all the right stuff, I'd have to go back. It takes me about 20 minutes to get back to, like, Canadian Tire, Home Depot, whatever, to get stuff that I need. So for now, I'm just making it work, and then I'll pick up what I need. It's tomorrow's Monday. I'm going back to work, so I'll stop in at the hardware store and get what I need. And but for now, this is what I got, right? So it doesn't open all the way like I would like it to. This is about as far as it goes, but that's good. And then like so, there you go. And then I got some plexiglass for here. I'm gonna put some plexiglass. This thing weighs nothing too. It's very light. So I gotta get this guy working, and yeah, I'm gonna do that.